am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.
Beautiful. Maybe seated. Oh boy, March 1st. I didn't know if I'd ever get over February. I have to claim my humanness. This is the truth. Yesterday, I'm here at work, 12 o'clock, I'm working on my slides, I'm working on things here at the church, and my computer up and dies. I mean, it shuts down and it will not restart. Owen runs some diagnostics on it and says, no, I'm not going to work. So he drives it to Apple Care, Genius Bar, North Star, San Antonio, go in there and do it. My computer will be back on Friday. It's got everything in it. Everything. Now, I have a backup about 2 weeks ago, but in order to have slides for today, I sat down with Owen's computer and recreated all the slides. And the talk, which is a whole new talk from the one I have in my computer because I couldn't find all those quotes or whatever. I didn't have my research. Anyway. What is also true is I did all that recreation and I didn't have to move my bracelet once. And then, Owen got back from San Antonio. We come over to the church, and I run through the talk, which is what I do. And then I realized that Mardi Gras, March 5th, Ash Wednesday, March 6th. These are 2019 dates for these holidays. And you've got proof of it right in your lap. Needless to say, I had to move my bracelet 3 times. But only 3 times. And there's no shame in day 1. So, life brings us all kinds of situations. And I love this booklet, which is on the welcome table. If you don't have it, is just so full of wisdom. And I've used it to recreate a talk for today, which I did anyway, Embracing Spring. I turned to the Message translation of the Bible for Deuteronomy 31:6. Be strong. Take courage. Don't be intimidated. Don't give them a second thought because God, your God, is striding ahead of you. God's right there with you and won't leave you or let you down. Even when your computer breaks down, God is with you. No matter what is happening, God's with you. This innate knowing, this internal presence that gives grace, harmony, that goes ahead of us, which means God's ultimately a great protector because we don't know what things don't come at us because of that protection. Truly, we could say that God is a great comforter. And when we come to know the truth, that there is only one presence and one power in the universe, and in my life, in your life, then we are ready to embrace spring. Eric Butterworth, right out of our booklet, says, Eric Butterworth was a unity minister, very powerful one in New York. Wrote some wonderful books. He wrote New Thought in language that we can just easily understand. Really a great man. Divine inheritance is not something you have to attain, but a growth unfoldment to be awakened and released. This is truly what Easter is all about. Thus, spring is not some set time on the calendar. It is the open door to the earth's inheritance, the everlasting yes to transcendent life. I love that. The everlasting yes to transcendent life. So spring and what Easter's journey is really all about is us awakening to this knowing that we're one with God. That Christ conscious, that innate ability within us is there, present. And all we need to do is be aware of it, to open ourselves, avail ourselves to our natural gifts. This is, when you inherit something, it's yours. You didn't have to do anything for it. You don't have to do 25 more push-ups or anything. This is what we're doing in this season of peace and nonviolence. It's what we're doing with the no complaint bracelet. It's what we're doing by fasting. If we're fasting from anything during this Lenten season, it's all part of our stopping, separating ourselves from just the normal routine to be able to listen to the indwelling truth within us. Because we each have to come to our own understanding. It's not what I have to say about it, what Eric Butterworth has to say about it. It's what you know about it. And that's what we're focusing on, so that when we get to Easter, we know that we've arrived at something deep and tangible that is eternal and always present. That's a good thing. This is Annie Lamott. Annie Lamott's a New York Times best-selling author. She's profound. I love reading Annie's books because they make me laugh out loud. She's also a dear friend of mine, and she has this to say about spring. I am going to try to pay attention to the spring. I'm going to look around at all the flowers and look up at the hectic trees. I'm going to close my eyes and listen. Let's try that. Let's just close our eyes and listen. Peace sounds good. Being just one with our nature, our being is good. And so as we return back into the room, eyes wide open, we know we can always take a moment and close our eyes and just listen. Just be. It's very relaxing, and it's available to us anytime. Now, it also could be that when we stop and close our eyes and we just listen, it's the busiest time of the day, and just your brain just has to catch you up on everything. Just breathe and know that peace is available. Back to Eric Butterworth. If you have been letting things get you down, take up the idea that you are the master of your thought world. No matter what people say or do, no matter what may happen around you, take up the idea, why should I let these things determine how I'm going to think or act? Keep the spirit of joy, the attitude of gratitude in good times and bad. Lent can be a dynamic experience, not by what you give up as much as what you take up. This is profound wisdom. Because if we really step back and go, how important is this? Why should I let what they're saying and doing have any effect on what I think or how I be? There's really no reason at all unless we give our power to it. And so we're asked by Eric to keep a spirit of joy. Even a smile on the face allows us to go through something a little easier. Now, what I was grateful for is that I had enough time to prepare a talk and prepare slides for this Sunday, because between noon Saturday and now, there was plenty of time to do what needed to be done. And so even amongst the, I didn't say it, I didn't have to move my wrist, but even amongst all of that, I could still see that I was on a course where everything was being taken care of. The nice Apple Genius bar said, "Oh, it looks broken, we'll send it off." And lo and behold, there's people who can do what they need to do, and I'll get what'll be like a brand new computer for $475, because that's the flat rate. And it'll come on Friday, Move Day. Yay. I love that. And then I'll close this talk with this wonderful quote from Georgiana Tree West. She wrote some wonderful books. She's a Unity minister, and she wrote the foreword to Charles Fillmore's book, Keep a True Lent, which is where this is from. To observe Lent according to the Spirit, rather than the letter, we must fast from criticism and condemnation and feast on brotherly love. Fast from false beliefs in sickness and weakness, and feast on the truth of God's omnipresent, perfect life. Fast from false beliefs and lack and limitation, and feast on the truth of God's bountiful goodwill. This is what we know we're being called to in this community. We're being called to awaken to the truth that's always true. That this innate ability for peace, for harmony, for restoration and healing, wholeness is always available to us. And when we use our practices, the spiritual practices of entering in this time of this season of peace and nonviolence, of non-resistance, of doing our no complaint practice, where we're choosing how to relate to the words that we say out loud. Or this Lent process, where we may have chosen to give up television or change the way we're eating, or whatever we fast from opens us to align ourselves with the omnipresent presence of God, always present. And it's not part of our sight and our senses that we attain contact with God. It's from our innate knowing, faith, and trust. And from that, we know we are embracing our springtime. We're embracing our growth, our change. And whatever comes up, God is there with us to carry us through. And so with that, let's take this into meditation. And we'll allow the Unity singers to guide us to this space in music.
Go within to the one inside. Go within. Let it be your guide. Go within. Touch the truth. Go within. Know it's you. To the place that's still. Go within. Let that be your will. Go within. To the one inside. Go within. Let it be.
Yes. Here we are. Together as one, as each of us individually sweetly drop into our center. Peace, be still. Peace, be still. Peace, be still. And as we take this time where we stop, become fully present and open, and listen, let's do that now in the silence. As we emerge from this connection with unity, we take a moment and bring as a cherished gem what we have received in this moment. And let's bring that into all that we do today, allowing peace to be our guide. And so as we bring our awareness back into this room, we might wiggle our fingers or wiggle our toes, or roll our shoulders, or roll our head. And when we're ready, we open our eyes, and together we'll say this affirmation for today's talk. Together, through the Spirit of God within me, I experience a springtime of the soul. And so it is. And we'll continue with this new practice of reciting together the Lord's Prayer, direct translation from Aramaic to English. Father, Mother, birther and breath of all, create a space inside us and fill it with your presence. Let oneness now prevail. Your one desire flows through ours as energy fills all forms. Give us this day our physical and spiritual nourishment. Untangle the knots of error that bind us as we release others. Don't let appearances make us forgetful of the source, but free us to act appropriately. For age to age, from you comes the glorious harmony of life. May these words be fertile ground from which our future grows. Amen.
Step out on the water, release your faith. Every step is stronger. Step out on the water.